something, Lyndon. I just want to say that you're getting a little bit fresh. If you like these days, you're like, don't look at me like that. What are you looking at? I just feel like you never used to talk to me like that. I just want to let you know.
I'm getting fresh, am I?
Do you know what?
Like, even when you say something to your parents and your parents say, "Is it?" That's what you just did to me, and I was like, "Whoa!" I either repeat it or I say nothing. So I'm just gonna say nothing.
I've never really policed what you could say to me, right? So why are you policing what I could say?
Ooh, right. So, do you know what I've realised?
Tell me.
Last episode, I made a conscious effort. Oh wait, let me start from the beginning.
Start from the top.
Start from the top. I've seen previous episodes of Black No Filter, and sometimes I feel like, was this what happened? Was I even there for this?
Were you dreaming?
Was I dreaming? Because actually, a lot has been chopped and screwed, and so I don't want to come across like a bully. And also, I'm only responsible for what I say. So I said, the last episode, you playing music while I'm speaking. That's very nice.
No.
So the last episode, I decided that I was going to be very nice, not say anything that came across as rude, challenging, and nothing. Just, very, very, very sweet. And even when he had no content to edit to make it look like I was being mean, he created a whole story about when they're bullying you, you have to keep a song in your heart to be optimistic.
Is that what
I said? Yeah.
Be optimistic.
That was a song that was playing in the background. One of my favourite songs.
One of my favourite. I was listening all day.
To be honest, it's
let's put
Was
this
it
word.
the original version?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that even takes even more of a mick, because that's my song. So I'm gonna use my song to implicate that I was
Because
bullying
on that day
you
it was
on your
my
story.
song. That day it was my song. And that's the day that I found out you put out a poll on Instagram.
Me?
One of you.
No, you know it's not me. Let me tell you something.
Listen, listen. If someone does it, right?
Yeah.
You went against it.
It was
you
me, I
enjoyed
did
it, and you told me that
Yeah.
you enjoyed that it was put
No,
up.
I said I
did it,
as far as
and
I'm concerned, both of you did it, right?
That's what I
So you
did.
put up
That's
a poll
not
that
true.
said, "Does Lyndon look Somalian? Yes or no?" Right?
Listen,
So I thought, hold on a second.
Can I ask a question?
Why am I being bullied on the internet?
Can I
So I thought, you know what? It's all right.
You're such a howler. If that's the definition of bullying, friend,
But we'll
I don't
all
know
be
what-
bullied.
We've all been bullied.
Give me the email for HR, because I've got a whole list of bullying to
Go on then.
bullying.
What
But
bullying?
can I tell you something? That, first of all, your logic on this matter is very, very flawed. If I like someone's work, doesn't mean that I partook. I like your work in editing, doesn't mean that I'm to thank for the editing. No. And so in this particular case, Fabrice decided that she was going to create extra content to go with the.
Why are you smiling?
Yeah, she was.
Because I did it. Because I did it, and
and
it
you
was
enjoyed
good.
it, and it was lovely.
Okay,
And do you
and
know
I
what?
got
I'm
you
gonna take
both
my
back.
hands off my hips, because I know you're gonna chop and screw that as well. So I'm gonna keep my hand here. And I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. When I saw it, I voted.
Yeah,
what
no, I saw you
personally
thought
thought
it.
in my heart.
No.
And then he proceeded to put up on our story pictures of us two saying, "Do I look Jamaican?
No, I
Do you
don't
look
know where that came
Zimbabwean?"
from.
Don't know where it came
But
from.
you know, when you
it
see
came
the
from the last
percentages-
episode,
But you know
because
what?
if we talk about the last episode, I said how people have said that I look Somalian. What you said people thought you were Zimbabwean.
Yeah.
You said people said you look Jamaican. So I
said
put
that?
it all out there.
Can I say something?
You.
On Real
Fresh.
Housewives of Atlanta,
behaviour.
on Love and
They're not
Possible.
allowed to do that.
This here
They're not allowed.
is fight talk.
I've never seen those shows.
Seen this crap.
I've never seen those shows, so I don't know anything about that.
Just let you know.
I was
Kenya.
just directing.
What do we-
No.
We don't do
We're talking.
this.
We're talking over each other. That's a bit mad, right? I'd have never seen those shows.
Okay.
So I'm just directing who I'm talking about and who I'm talking about.
Let me
That's
just
it.
say this.
Okay.
Zimbabwe, Jamaica, Somalia, apparently.
My
Yeah.
mum did say that Angela looks like a facey Jamaican, but she said she thinks you're beautiful. So I don't know what to do with that.
Do you know, I love
information.
your mum. I just really hope. Can you give me some tips to not look like a facey Jamaican? A Jamaican I can just about deal with, but facey Jamaican is a lot.
Do you know what's worse as well? The fact people are saying you look Jamaican, right? We are actually Jamaican, and you're vexed about it.
Yeah.
And we're Jamaican. You're vexed about looking Jamaican, and we're actually Jamaican. I'm not cussing you. People are saying I'm Rwandan. I'm like, oh man, I'm so upset about that. People are saying this doesn't make. Why are you so mad about being Jamaican?
Because it's not
you
about-
want to come at me
No.
that I'm mad about being Somalian. So
Yeah.
why are you mad at being Jamaican?
No.
Say it to our Jamaican eyes.
Bite your finger if you do it again. Let me tell you something. It's not about me being Jamaican. It's because I'm not Jamaican and I look Jamaican. That's why I want to look where I come from, where I come from. So it's not all about you, and it's not all about Jamaica. Sometimes it's about me. And I just don't want to look like, whether it be Jamaica, whether it be Barbados, whether it be Zimbabwe, whether it be Mozambique. I don't want to look from those places. I want to look like I come from where I come from.
Yeah, but if you're the first person that everyone has seen, the first person that a lot of people have seen that are Rwandan, how do you expect to look Rwandan when nobody has? When nobody
look ambiguous.
You don't. You know why? Because you're still a black person, right?
Yeah.
And black people, and also Jamaicans have a look, right?
Okay.
So
we don't
have a look.
Yeah.
So how can you be mad if you look like a country of black people that don't have a look? How can you be mad?
Because I don't want to look.
Because you don't you look like a black person.
Yeah.
Jamaica has black people.
Yeah.
We don't have a look.
Yeah.
How can you be mad that you look like a Jamaican? Is it because you look like just a random black person, or does the word Jamaican upset you?
Are you okay? Do you want us to go?
Right.
Do you want us to enter in today? Actually,
I've entered in. We're here. We're here.
He said, "Catch me outside." How about that?
Jesus help me.
We're here.
Once again, I'd like to reiterate that it has nothing to do with being Jamaican, looking Jamaican.
So what's upset you?
I'm not angry that I look Jamaican. I'm upset that I don't look like where I come from. Thank you.
I can verify that because I'm upset that I don't like where I come from either.
I'm not upset about that.
You're just trying to make it something else, but it's all right.
You're a little bit upset that you are.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Many people.
I'll tell you why. I don't care about them people. I'll talk to them people in a minute, right? I'll tell you why. Them people that said I look Somalian. Not Somalian people.
Yeah.
People who think I look Somalian. Because most
me.
Somalians will not think the same thing. Those ones that did, there's something wrong with them, right? Look, if Somalians have a particular look, that you see it, you know that person comes from Somalia.
And what, your look?
And that's not my look.
No. I thought you were Somalian when I first met you.
So just to reiterate, you're upset because you don't want to be Somali because
I don't look like a Somali person, because I know what a Somali person looks like.
Who are you telling people? You're telling people what they see in their own eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Asa.
Well, let me also join in.
There's nothing wrong. Listen.
Do
you know what? Right? There's nothing wrong with someone saying you look Jamaican. There's nothing wrong with saying you look Zimbabwean. When someone looks at you as a man and say you look Somali, they're saying you look like Chunks or Dino, and I don't like it.
I just want to go on record and say that I actually really like Chunks.
I don't care if you like him. I don't look like Chunks.
But you don't look like him.
So how do I look?
But they're not the only Somali people out here.
Chunks, the minute you see him, you know, that's Somalian. Dino, the minute you see him, you know it's Somalian. I
don't know who Dino is. Is he Chunks' friend?
No, he's a rapper.
If they said to you that you look East African, would you be offended?
No, because that's a general. It's general, and I've met people from East Africa that don't look like Chunks and Dino.
I really like Chunks.
I like
Chunks. I like how he looks. I like his music, and I like him. God bless you.
I think you got.
I've got no.
You've got issues, but it's alright.
Issues with East Africa.
No, you've got issues, but it's alright.
With Somali people
in
say
general,
Somalian.
I have a variety of issues, and you've got particular issues in this area, but it's alright. We don't have time to.
It's not an issue. You have an issue about looking Jamaican.
I got feedback for you. We'll pray for you. Some Zimbabweans said, you know what? Actually, I don't think Fabrice looks Zimbabwean. The reason why people think she looks Zimbabwean is because she's getting ready to be a Zimbabwean wife. That's what they said. And that is my feedback for you. You're about to be someone's wife.
He's from Zimbabwe.
I don't know.
You know what? Whatever the Lord wants.
He's on the way with cattle for your what dowry? Thanks.
I'll take it. Someone said that they thought I looked like I was South African, which I don't think I do, to be honest.
You look Southern to me.
You know what? I'll take it. The bottom line is we're all from Africa, and I'm happy to take it. Some of us from South, some of us from North, some of us from West, and some of us are from
West Indies.
East.
No? Oh, East.
We're all from Africa. Angela, come on.
I thought I was. Oh, yeah. East. Then don't look at.
I wonder if you want to, but there's a lot of people. Anyway, let me stop. Let's
enter in.
Let's enter in. I won't say Salaam Alaikum again.
I didn't realise that. That's the reason why you're putting in the group chat. That is so funny. That is so funny.
Him. Did you not see that I called him earlier? He didn't even respond.
No, I saw him. Mohammed. I think he's rude. He's rude.
Oh yes, I did. Oh. I thought it was something to do with like Nation of Islam type. Like
no. Could have been that.
I wish I'd known. I would have jumped on it. Oh,
that's why I had to come off the phone because I was in too many conversations. It was all going left, and I was getting really worried. I was like, "Don't act stupid." Lyndon's looking really angrily at me.
No, Lyndon's looking like he's ready for a fight today.
Ready
I am.
for a
Now,
fight.
unfortunately, I'm not exactly in a fighting mood today.
I'm never in
However,
a fighting
it doesn't
mood.
take me long to get from 0 to 100.
Let's go.
So
Let's go.
don't try me today.
Let's go.
Because
Try
I've
me
got
not.
your
Let's
time.
go. Let's go.
Try me not.
I'll be like this in the thing. Are we still recording? It's a shame. I'm gonna do
Don't
whatever
be
I
your
want.
best behavior. Just be.
Right, so I saw a meme as I was scrolling on Instagram this morning about cousin sleepovers at grandma's house. Now, my grandma has never lived here. She was here for 6 months when my youngest sister was born, and that might be part of a story later on in the podcast. But as a substitute for having a grandma here, we have like a household, which is actually my aunt, my lovely Auntie Rose, who all the cousins used to go to her house from the beginning of when I can remember.
Really?
And we all used to sleep. Like, I'm trying to see if I can find you the
Higgledy-piggledy in the living room.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I used to think it was only us. Oh, I don't think I took a screenshot of it. Oh,
I've seen the meme. Like, it's like 5 people on the sofa, 25 people on the
floor in a big bed and everything. And I showed it to my cousin, and she said, "You know what's so funny? Some people who are not black, they don't know that these things exist unless you tell them." Like, I just, it kind of like a given. Like, in my head, I thought like everybody goes to like an auntie's house and we all make a big bed on the floor. Whereas probably there's some places or some families where they're very organized and you only can stay if there's a particular bed ready for you. If not, everybody goes home. In our aunt's house, we had loads of blankets. She actually had loads of blankets, extra mattresses and stuff like that, just to put in the living room and make a huge bed. And that was one of the highlights of being like at my aunt's house. Like, over the summer holidays, we were there for like a good like 2 weeks straight.
Listen,
all of us.
Let me tell you about reason number 7082 that I'm glad that I'm black, because that was like my life growing up, especially when I lived in Manchester. So to be honest, I mean, some of us, for race, let me say what I was going to say. I was going to say some of us aren't like Lyndon and can remember things from when they're 3. I only remember things when I was about 6.
Do you know that psychologically that's actually not normal, and I actually don't think it's not true. People actually well. I mean,
so Lyndon remembers things from very early. I don't really remember stuff like that. I remember things when I was about 6, but actually I remember spending my summer holidays with all my cousins at my grandma's house. Now, my grandma was in a wheelchair. I'm not convinced, really, we weren't really paying attention, but my eldest cousin, Richard, who my grandma would call Richard! He was meant to look after us, but Richard let us do whatever we wanted to do. So it was me and there were like 5 of us, and we would just run around the house from morning till night. Aww. And there were enough bedrooms, but it never occurred to any of us to stay in our own rooms. What for? You can have so much fun sleeping in the living room.
Yes.
So when you say things like organized, I read it as boring. Who wants to stay in their own bed when their cousins around?
It was so, and my aunt took such pleasure in making a really comfortable bed, probably more comfortable than going into sleeping in those the rooms.
Yeah.
And we'd put on Coming to America, and I would see who's the first one to fall asleep.
At what time? At what age?
Oh, like when we were young. Yeah. And other films as well, but we would wait to see who's the one that fall asleep.
I don't
first,
remember the films. I remember my auntie would make us my cousin Richard would make us popcorn. Then when I was older, and I used to go to Luton a lot to see my auntie and my cousin. That's why they're my favourite. So it was me and my sister. We'd go and stay with my auntie and her 2 children. And my auntie would always make a Victoria sponge cake. Shout out to my auntie Colin, because that cake used to bang. And popcorn. And I don't remember the films. I think there were, but I remember the food. But I just remember just chilling. And I think, honestly, sometimes I just look back and think, actually, my cousins were my first proper friends outside of school. Because those ones that I was allowed to go and stay around the houses, because no one else was allowed to go into the house and stay. But even my cousins are big now, but in my head, they're 5. My cousins are in their 20s, and my guy cousin's I'm a big man out here. In my head, I'm you're actually just 5, because that's how I remember you. Did you have boys sleepover, cousins sleepovers with your boy cousins?
No, well, I don't really have that many I don't really have many boy cousins at all. I've got, and I'm thinking of, I can only think of 2 that were around, and they were quite a bit younger than me. I didn't really have that many cousins when we were young anyway, because we were both of our grandparents, me and my sister were the first, the whole family. Oh, wow. So we didn't have any for a long time. We had some second cousins, but the second cousins were close in their own their own kind of group. Obviously, we do there our cousins, but it's not like we go to our grandparents and they would be there because their grandparents are my grandparents' siblings.
Yeah.
So my grandparents' house was just me and my sister for ages.
Oh wow.
For ages, and then we had one cousin in '95. So I was already 8, and one cousin, but she was born in Canada.
Oh.
And then on the other side, we had another cousin who was born in London. So in Birmingham, we didn't really have that many first cousins. Loads of second cousins. An unending amount of second cousins. Yeah. But first cousins, not really that many. So we weren't growing up having sleepovers with first cousins. We were having sleepovers with church friends.
But do you know, really, with church friends?
Yeah.
I mean, that didn't happen for me until I was late into
if
my
that's
teens.
not, like one of them was my best friend when I was a little kid, but they live in Canada now. But from when we were like 2, 3 until we were like 11, that was my best friend in the world. So we were going to their house every other Sabbath.
That's cute.
So that was the fun time for us.
But do you know, like, so when we're talking about cousins, like, so actually, the people that I call my favorite cousins on my dad's side, they're actually my second cousins. Like, they're actually my second cousins because my dad and her mum were first cousins. So that means they're my second cousins, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They were
but my cousins in Austria are my first cousins, and I mean, I would go to Austria every summer. Like, you would think I could speak fluent German, but I can't. Anyway, it's fine. Like, my cousins all shout at me, but like, I literally went there every summer for the like, I don't know, 3 weeks or whatever.
And you can't speak German?
I can't speak a lick.
Oh, that is...
And my cousins speak like 4 different languages. Like, all of them in Austria, they're extremely fluent, like, in everything. Me and Chantal and Victoria, I think because there were the 3 of us, we didn't need to speak German. Anyway, whatever. I guess what I'm saying is, those are my first cousins, but to me, I see them on the same level as my cousins I went to go and see in Luton, and my cousins that I stayed with in Manchester were my first cousins. Those are my mum's sister's children, and we actually look alike. But do you know, like, I think a lot of white people will refer to their second cousins as that's my second cousin, or that's my third cousin, and I think when they say that, what they're saying is, we're not as close, but to me, friend with family.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I've always known. I didn't even know what the word second cousin meant until I was way older.
That's what I'm saying.
But I just knew because I didn't have any first cousins, so I always knew that those are my cousins. But it was not as close as most cousins would be.
Right.
So I know that they're my cousins, but it's not as close as my first cousins, which are my first cousins now.
Right.
But I didn't understand the second, third. I didn't know what that was.
I
just knew that I had cousins, but we're the only ones that have these grandparents.
Right.
Let me tell you, we have no blood relations in this UK. Yeah, this place we call UK. The people that I'm calling my cousins, which many of them watch and support Black No Filter, are literally because my mum and my auntie Rose were very, very close friends and knew each other in secondary school. They both moved here. They are, when I say my cousins, they are literally like, sometimes I think it gets to the point where relationship trumps actually having a blood relationship. Yeah. Like, I mean, a blood relation. Like, to be honest with you, those are my cousins through and through. And there's other people in that group. So there are people in that, there are family members in that group, the majority of them, who are actually like, their siblings had kids and they're all cousins. But there are additions to that. And we've known each other. Like, say, I've known my auntie Rose's daughter, Mariam, who I refer to as my cousin, and she really is to me my cousin, before the others were born. Like, we've known each other for the longest before her other like blood cousins were born.
Yeah, same.
Actually, it's only recently. Well, maybe I say recently, but maybe like in the last. Maybe 7 years for some of the younger ones, and maybe 10 years for some of the older ones. That they were like, wait a minute, but your mum is not an actual. Where is she in the sisters or the brothers? Then you start thinking, oh, well, actually, no, we're not. Apart from relation in terms of proximity, yeah.
Even like figuring out, like as a kid, oh, so like my uncle married somebody, but like if I wasn't alive when you got married, to me, you're my uncle and my auntie, and I'm going to give you the same respect to both. Do you know what I mean? Like, and oftentimes in our family, I find that the ones who marry in are the ones who really make a big effort with the kids. But like a lot of my friends who are white, they're like, oh, that's my uncle's wife, that's my auntie's husband. And I said, rah, that's not your uncle. No, that's my uncle's wife. Okay.
Just because they're probably told, maybe it's because they're told more when they're younger. We're not told as much. So, it's your cousin. It's your auntie.
Yeah.
we don't talk about that.
I mean, I don't know. Me personally, that's how my kids are going to be raised. Like, for instance, Malima's my best friend, and I tell Kay all the time, listen, when I have kids, that's your cousin. Do you know what I mean? Because she's my goddaughter. So what can I say? That's your god sister.
No.
All of that is wild and out of control.
Yeah.
For me, that's your cousin, and you're going to look after her like family because she doesn't have a lot of family in this country, similar to you. Most of Malima's family is in Guyana or America. That's okay. You can be in our family.
Yeah.
Because I think basically for me, cousins, are your first. It's like your first understanding of how friendship works.
Yeah.
It's definitely not mine. 100% not mine. Because I didn't have any first cousins for such a long time.
That's true.
My friends were who my friends were.
Yeah.
Your church friends.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I didn't stay at no school friend's house. You mad?
So because you were the first for your grandparents, is it safe to say that you and your sister were spoiled or no?
Why is that even a conversation? We were just the first. And that's it.
That's yes.
No, what? How?
Lyndon's original friends, I'd like to actually. So Lyndon's friends when he was a child that taught him how friendship works. Why did you not get to the subject or the topic of responding nicely to questions? Sometimes Lyndon responds to questions and I think, wow.
Because I was. Am I an idiot? No. That was it. That was a question. That was a dig.
You're very smart.
That was a dig.
Ever said you're an idiot.
That was a dig.
And you can say no.
That was a dig.
Okay.
Because it's just a dig. Because for some reason, because I was the first grandchild, and the only grandson for most of my grandparents' lives, I must be spoiled.
You know what?
Were you extra loved? Like, because at one point there was
how am I supposed to know if I was extra loved?
You know what? Let me tell you why. My sister-in-law, shout out to you, my sister-in-law, Cleo. I love you forever and ever. She's also a Libra, so she's extra special.
Oh yeah.
Cleo, I call her, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying this. Sorry. I always call her Princess Cleo. She's Princess Cleo on Instagram, Princess Cleo on my phone. Because you know what? I've always said to her, Cleo, you're a princess. But you know what she says to me? I was the first grandchild. So actually, all my aunties and uncles spoiled me, and all my grandparents both spoiled me. So Cleo's daughter, my niece Eva, to be honest, now I give her whatever she wants, because she's my first. Do you know what I mean? She can get whatever she wants, rightly or wrongly, and she's super cute. So I know in my heart I'm spoiling her. I know out of me and my siblings, the first grandchild my mum has is going to be probably spoiled. Mum's going to buy them everything she possibly can. It's
weird for if you ask someone if they're spoiled, it's difficult to answer that question because if you're spoiled, then mostly you're not going to know it. That's just how life was.
But Cleo knows, and that's
I don't feel like I was.
Okay.
But people are going to argue with me and say I was, but I wasn't because
Maybe
what did they give me? Every nothing. So I don't understand.
What did they give me? Nothing. Mm-hmm.
No, but you know what? Maybe you weren't spoiled. All I'm saying is that the reason I asked you is because Cleo talks about that, not in a spoiler way. She's just like, I was the first for everybody. So I think everybody was very excited.
And it's not like I'm expecting anything from anybody or anything like that. Because I know that my aunties and uncles know that love me. That's fine. But I wasn't spoiled. I wasn't spoiled. And even my mum would tell me you were spoiled, and I was like, no, well, I wasn't. What are you talking about? I've seen spoiled children. I've seen my friends be spoiled. I've seen cousins be spoiled.
I think there's different flavors of spoiledness. And
I've seen them be spoiled. So I didn't get that treatment. So why should I now think I'm spoiled when I didn't get that treatment? And when that person's not being called spoiled. I just don't like that question.
So basically, that's a trigger question. You shouldn't have asked it, and the answer is no.
Thank you.
Right. It's a bit mad.
I actually think I went to my cousins' houses the most that my parents got on with the most.
Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. You stay at people's house because your parents are friends.
Yeah.
That's as simple as that.
And that's the reason why, obviously, your cousins are the cousins that you have because you guys are so close. That's why, let me tell you guys, everybody, whenever the time comes, my little kids will be here. I'm going to Uncle Lynn's house and Aunt Steph's house. I said, go and have lots of fun and be loud, okay? Scream. Next to Uncle Lyndon. Can I just say, though, do you know what? Last week, I thought you were so sweet when you sat down with Kaya and you were just taking so much time with her with the Rubik's Cube. My little heart, I said,
oh. That was so nice.
Oh, okay.
Well, you must be very good because Kay doesn't like a lot of people and she'll sit in the room and not talk to anybody and she'll be very happy. So
I feel that.
Yeah, she's Kaya. She's just like, hello. But she likes everyone in this room. That's why she'll give you a hug. If she don't like you, she won't talk to you at all.
Okay. She's chill.
My little babes. She did ask me for a baby, and I said, Kaya, no one's praying hard enough. Okay, so if we all prayed, we'd be there. Anyway.
All right.
Are we finished with the conversation we're having?
No, we're not.
What was the entirety of the question?
So the conversation.
You cut in.
Lyndon, I asked you a question and you responded. What you need to say, Lyndon, is I don't like that question, and I'm like, oh, sorry, Lyndon. But
you know why I don't like it as well, because I feel a certain way, but people around me like to tease me with another thing, and it just really gets irritating.
We didn't know that.
We didn't know that.
Because if you ask Stephanie, she's gonna tell you some rubbish.
Yeah.
You see?
I didn't know.
I
just said it because Cleo is spoiled and she's very happy to say it.
I don't mind.
And you're spoiled.
I don't mind.
I'm telling you.
If I was spoiled, I wouldn't mind either.
I think we're thinking about spoiled in a certain way, like
You're
a bratty,
thinking about a spoiled
always
brat.
want to get what they want and stuff like that. No, I just know that I prefer a lot of assistance. And
trust me, that's definitely true.
I prefer a lot of assistance. If you can help me with it, I'll happily take it. And I like people to talk to me nice. So
some people think you're yardie. Talk to me nice.
So that's
I don't think you're a spoiled brat. And to be honest, I don't even think you're spoiled. Like I said, the most important lesson Angela taught me in 2019, friends, is let me tell you something, yeah? We all women, we just need to be like, I need help and assistance. And when you ask for it, it appears. I've never seen anything like it. But Angela would be like, I can't do that.
I can't. Unfortunately, I can't.
It's impossible. And somehow the way is made.
Just a side note. We'll leave it in if we have to leave it in. Jennifer has actually written a list of modules she has to take my husband through before she says, okay, this person can marry you. Yeah. Like, she caught him randomly in the night. So, I want to go out to Tesco. Are you happy with the decision or not? Will you come or not? If he says no, she's like, no, you failed. Do you know I used to call my dad? Yeah, so funny. I used to, if they ever left me at home, and this is even when I was like a big 16, 17, yeah? If they ever left me at home or if they left me overnight, sometimes I'd hear stuff downstairs and I'd call my dad and he'll be so far away. I say, I can hear someone in the house. It'll go 2 in the morning. I can hear someone walking in the house and he's been in the kitchen for so long. And he was like, okay, right. So first of all, there's nothing I can actually do from here. So what would you like from me? I don't know. So I think you should go downstairs. Even when I'm a big age, if I ever hear stuff moving, I'll actually call my dad and be like, but what can I can't help you.
Listen, I think that all the time. Let me tell you something. Whoever marries me, I really hope you know how to do jiu-jitsu, karate, boxing, mixed MMA, or just be like an old school Jamaican and have like a baseball bat or not a machete, because them things can go left.
Yeah. Who are these fictional people that you want to marry?
Because I want someone to be able to protect me, and in the middle of the night.
You want to join the podcast?
I need you to have a knife or a bat, a baseball bat, preferably a metal one, underneath the bed, because if anything happens, what do you want to do? Go downstairs and then find the attacker? No, have it to hand. Yeah. Please be prepared like a Pathfinder.
I'm such a light sleeper. I need to be like, I can hit and the person's already jumped out and going downstairs.
What if they're not a light sleeper?
Then just a little, just ready, be ready. Or even spiders. If I see something because I've had friends, family, whatever, who are just tired of me screaming about spiders. I need you to have an unlimited amount of patience for spiders. And when I scream, I need you to run. I don't need to take time because spiders actually have 8 legs and we only have 2. They can move very fast. They can move very fast. And then when they want to do hide and seek with a spider, I don't have the time. I don't have the mental capacity.
Oh, do you know what? Once, let me tell you something.
This is a very, very annoying.
First of all,
I can do other things, but that's what I mean.
No, you know it's annoying because
are so scared of spiders. Every so often, I say about once a month, I'm listening to a voice note from Angela and Stephanie, and they'll be talking. It will be the middle of the day, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They'll be like, anyway, as I was saying, I saw a spider. Okay, it's not a spider.
Do you know what? Do you know what it is?
It will ruin my day.
Do you know what it is? No, if it's like a spider, if it's a spider that was actually look like a threat, I understand if you're screaming, right? If a spider actually
anything that has 8 legs is a
no,
threat.
If it's this big, it's not a threat to anybody.
No, Lyndon, it's still a threat.
Fine. but sometimes she screams bloody murder, and I feel like there's somebody in the house ready to fight me, and I need to get ready for that. That's what that sound tells me.
Yeah.
It tells me get ready to fight, and I go there and I see this tiny little insect. I'm like, why are you wasting my energy? Why are you building up my blood pressure for this insect?
Don't worry, Stephanie, I got you. Let me tell you something, yeah?
Do you not understand what
I screamed.
My blood pressure.
Listen, I saw a spider run across the kitchen. Oh, Jesus, even now I'm getting scared. I saw it run across. No, for real, my heart rate is through the roof. I saw a spider run across the kitchen. I've got a friend that I can't even do this to. She screams. What? Yeah, people are terrified. I saw a spider run across the kitchen.
The podcast?
I don't think so. I saw a spider run across the kitchen, and before my mind had registered that I'd seen a spider, by the time I realized I was already screaming, the scream was already coming out. And my aunt, she said it was such a blood-curdling scream that she felt sick. Like, she actually was so scared. Then she realized what I was screaming about, and she said, no, Angela, you can't scream like that. You can't scream like that. But we don't do it on purpose. That's actually
it's
the
not,
terrifiedness that we feel.
The way you do it, they'll be talking mid-sentence and they're like, ah! And I'm like, what's going on? The thing is, though, I used to be very scared of spiders until I lived by myself in my first flat in Watford, and it was a flat in the middle of a park. So there was every woodland creature you could think of. I saw squirrels in the morning, I had the foxes everywhere, and I would come into my flat in the evening, and my flat had like cream walls, and I would see a massive, and I mean massive spider. So I used to go and knock on my neighbour's door and get him to kill it. Right? I did that, but I felt very happy because they didn't move very quickly until one day I knocked on his door, and guess what? He was away for the weekend, and I nearly cried. In fact, I think I did cry, and I had to kill it. I had to kill it myself. And do you know what? Since then, I've been able to do it. Like, the tiny ones don't bother me. Medium-sized ones don't bother me. The big ones freak me out, but I'm able to do it because I just had to. Because I was like, I'm not sleeping in the living room, and then when it's in your bedroom and you can't find it, what do you do?
That's stressing
Sleep.
right now.
Don't be stressed.
Don't worry. I get stressed. Do you know there's times when there's been a spider in my room,
and
my dad has
rational.
My dad has taken his time to come and get it.
It's rational.
No, they're irrational.
So
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's not rational.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We already know that.
Yeah. I think you need.
I've
therapy.
packed my things and gone to stay at someone's house until they found the spider,
I believe you.
I've packed my things in the middle of the night and gone.
Let me tell you something. If it was mice, Jesus knows, I'm off. And unfortunately, I had mice 1, 2, 3 times living in London, twice in the same flat over a period of 2 years. And I'm not ramping with that. I picked myself and I said, I'm going to Watford to Malimo's house. I'm not ramping. Spiders, I can deal with. Rodents? Are you all right? You see one mice is about 25 in your house. I'm not involved. And people are like, I can leave a little mice trap out. Call Rent-A-Kill and kill them. I'm not interested. I'm not here for anybody saying, they're God's creatures. Relax.
Why? They had the whole of the outside.
Yeah.
The entirety of the outside.
You don't need to be in the house. But so for me, mice and anything, and rats, nah, I told you.
The only thing I could ever be that scared of is a snake, and that's a very, very rational.
Snakes.
Rational fear. I can't even see. To be honest, because it's not actually. It's a little bit irrational because if I see it on the screen, I can't even look at it. So
really?
I
can watch it on the screen.
That's messed up,
I don't like snakes.
My
I
mum
can't
does
deal
that
with
too.
Have you
them.
had a bad encounter with them?
No.
Just don't like them?
I just can't deal with the image of snakes.
Wow.
That makes sense because that's the devil's creature.
You're walking close to Jesus. I knew you were going to say that.
Well, I don't know how we
I think rats are devil's creatures, and I'm happy to say
rats
that.
are disgusting as well, and they're different to mice because mice are easy to kill, but rats will fight, and I don't like that.
I told you, my flatmate, I don't know why we're talking about this, my flatmate went to the bathroom in my old flat, thank God I'm out of there, and she screamed like there was a man in the bathroom, and basically I heard her bedroom door slam, and she was like hyperventilating, and I was shouting at her through the door, like, what's going on? She goes, oh my gosh, I saw a black mouse. A black mouse? Baby girl, you saw a rat. I said, I'm out of there. 4 days later.
But how big was it though?
I didn't ask her those questions because
rats are big.
Why are your hands that big? No.
Rats are big,
Don't. I can't even think about it. Let me tell you, thank God I'm out of there. Sorry if anybody else who lives in Kilburn. Good luck to you and the mice and the rats. Good luck.
Good luck to you.
There's rice and mats all over the city.
The rice and mice and rats in Ealing. I ain't seen none in this house.
Oh, there's a mouse.
They say in London, you'll never.
Steph used to live in a house in just the road away, and there was mice.
Really?
I said just the road away. there was a mice. We went back into the house like it was late. We went. I think it was a gig or something, and three of us went back into the house, and there was mice running up and down in the front room. Like they were having races. Oh, it was bad. But yeah, we killed them eventually. So yeah,
let's switch gears because I can't. Let me just talk to you about irrational fears. Yeah,
you know, I was forced to watch. I was forced to watch snakes on a plane once.
Nah,
that is the most trauma I think I've ever experienced.
And it's a bad film as well.
Horrendous.
It's not a good film.
It's everything was my what? No, it's not Kevin Hart's not in Snakes on a Plane.
Is it not?
No. It's just
Snoop
my
Dogg.
No. Samuel L. Jackson's in it.
Is Snoop Dogg not in it?
Is he in it by himself?
No.
Is Snoop Dogg in it as well?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I thought Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg were in the film.
You're thinking of Soul Plane. I'm talking
sorry.
about Snakes on a Plane.
It's not a bad film though.
Of course, it's terrible.
Both of
I don't
them
know
are
why I was
terrible.
forced to watch it. It was horrendous. You know who forced me to watch it?
Stephanie?
My mother.
Oh, Auntie Grace.
Oh yes.
I'm not saying anything bad about her.
To help you to get out.
I don't know what she
There
did,
must have been
but
a
it
good
made it
reason,
worse.
Auntie Grace.
Has anyone felt the fear of their mother coming back and you haven't defrosted the chicken?
Yeah.
Do you know it's so funny? Growing up, it wasn't really chicken because by the time I knew how to, I was able to defrost and stuff. To be honest, I could always defrost, but my mum is a domestic goddess and she literally would cook 3.5 meals for people in the household.
Every day?
Yeah.
She cooks a fresh meal every single day.
No, but why
As
3
in,
meals?
Sometimes she'll cook something that my dad would like, but we don't eat that. So she'll cook something a little bit different for us. And stuff
Sorry,
like that.
so just to be clear, you were allowed to say to your mum, I don't eat what my dad eats and therefore you're getting a new meal?
No, your
I-
dad said, I don't eat that, so I'm eating something else.
Right.
not only that, maybe also some of the stuff was so fancy and expensive that if you don't like it, why am I wasting it on you?
Yeah.
It's you're getting it from Rwanda or Uganda or something like that, and it's like if you're gonna just complain, why don't I just cook you pasta? Yeah, quickly. Cool. So but by the time my mum asked us to take stuff out to defrost it, my parents were kind of vegetarians by that point, so it was more take out the beans from the freezer and make sure they're defrosted by the time I get back. Beans. So my mum would boil normal. Do you know beans that you harvest from the ground?
But a red kidney. Okay,
all different types of beans.
Okay.
And she'll boil beans. So most of the time it was it doesn't really matter. Pinto beans. She'll boil them and then she'll boil so much of them because it takes a long time for them to soften up that by the time they finish boiling, she'll freeze a portion of them and she'll cook a portion and then she would want us to defrost the beans. There's been several times when we've forgotten to take out the beans, or she said take out those beans so later on in the day you can cook dinner for everybody because I'm not going to come home. I'm coming home late, and there's times when I've had to try to cook the beans while they're part frozen.
Oh, every day.
But it's not it's not as big as as meat, because meat you can probably get some food poisoning.
You can definitely get food poisoning if you're cooking meat that hasn't been defrosted.
But beans, they're gonna boil anyway, so boil away.
Yeah, no, my mum would tell me. I mean, the thing is now, I'm a whole adult. I understand why she'd get so angry. Back in the day when I'd be like, oh, I've forgotten to do it, I'd be like, what's the problem? But you know what? Now I actually work a full-time job and I'm not going out to work because obviously we're working at home. But when I was going out to work, if I had said to somebody, just do one thing, just take out the meat from the freezer when I come home, I can cook it. And I've gone to work and battled with everybody on the tube on the way there and dealt with all these stupid people at work and then come home, finally taken off my shoes and you haven't taken the meat out to defrost. What are we eating? Air? So yeah, that used to happen to me all the time because I was actually very forgetful as a child. And we had, I don't know if this is a black thing, but we had 2 freezers. So we have a deep chest freezer that has everything under the sun. Oxtail, fish, curry goat, chicken, whatever. Then we've got the other freezer that comes with the bottom of the fridge, and you've got ice cream, ice cubes, all nonsense stuff, right? But and it's always a deep chest freezer. Oftentimes they take out this, and I'm taking out whatever I think it is, and it's not. Take out the oxtail, okay, no problem. And it's really the fish. I don't want to have fish. I'm sorry, I don't know what can I tell you? But yeah, that was me, definitely on a weekly basis. But do you know what's so funny now? Now I'm back home for a short while. I've never heard my mum say to my brother, Christian, take out the meat from the freezer. No. She does it all herself. And I said, wow, what is life? Life has completely changed.
Because you tried it if you didn't work. So.
Yeah. My mum would just be like, you guys are useless. Useless.
Yep.
My mum actually, rather than defrosting, my mum would tell us to make sure we put the food that if we served last, put the food in the fridge.
Yeah.
And in the morning she would wake up
God,
and the food has been out the whole night. and she would.
You and my mum can live. You and my mum. Thursday morning, she comes down and says, Fabrice, I said, I don't understand because the truth of the matter is, my brother eats food last. I said to Christian, why do you put the food in the fridge? Is it supposed to go in the fridge? I didn't know that. Are you all right? Haven't you lived here for like 16, nearly 17 years? My mum's losing her mind. Meanwhile, I'm just like, I don't mean to be funny, Christian, but when I was growing up, when we left the kitchen, this is what you had to do. Wash the dishes. There was no dishwasher. There's now a dishwasher. Then you had to wipe the surfaces. Then you had to clean the cooker. Then you had to sweep the floor. Then you had to mop the floor. All you've got to do is put the food in the fridge and you can't do it. I said, what's wrong with you? He's living a very, very spoilt lifestyle. Very.
All we had to do was make sure we looked busy when my mother came back or when my dad came back. Just look busy.
Looked busy.
Just look busy.
What?
I mean, we'll probably still get in trouble, but at least look like you're trying. Because if it comes to the time where, the car is outside, you gotta look busy. Yeah. You gotta do something. You're gonna be in trouble anyway, but just look like you're trying, innit? And you might get away with it.
But that was on top of doing stuff. Like, we couldn't look as if we were relaxing anyway when my parents got back because they'd be like, this is uselessness. Why are you not doing anything? So nothing for you to do. But we should have done what they told us to do. Like, Mum used to call and say, make sure you start boiling the beans now. So when I get back, they're soft. She'll come back and we'll be like, it's been boiling. She'll be touching the beans. And this has just been put in. This has just been put in. Why are you lying?
But do you think it's because we didn't care or just because I genuinely, forgot. I promise you. It wasn't because I didn't care. I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then sister came on and I just forgot I lied.
This is the thing though. If it's the holidays and the trouble is doing all kinds of double bill and back to back and fresh spritz and everything, it's easy to forget everything you're asked to do.
It's true.
And we did it every day.
Every day.
I forgot every day.
My parents will say, you need to do this amount of stuff before you sit down and watch any TV, just so I can help you not forget. But do you know what? I feel like it's less, I think it definitely is forgetting because you don't realise it's not part of your schedule to cook.
Yeah.
So it's just a random task that you're being told to do.
Yeah.
Now, like I've got to cook tomorrow and I remember to take out dog stuff in the fridge because I'll be so angry. And so sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night, like, oh my gosh, I didn't put something in the fridge or I didn't take it out of the freezer. Just because I know that it's part of my plan the next day, so it's gonna throw a spanner in the works.
But you can tell some of you when asked to take out the meat from the freezer, and it shows because you know what? I've got some friends out here who are cooking meals left, right, and centre, saying, "Oh, what am I gonna have for dinner?" And in my head, I'm thinking, "Didn't you plan this last night?" In my soul, I'm thinking, "Didn't no one teach you to plan what you're having?" A couple of days. No, everybody can wing it. But what I'm saying is, people are like, "I've got no idea what to cook. I'm gonna have to go to shops every single day shopping."
Do you know, I usually have something to cook, but if I don't feel like it, I'll eat.
Meals?
I plan a few days in advance.
God, well.
Yeah, because I have to, because it's just me. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I think if it was me and another person, you'd ask the person what you want to have, blah, blah, blah. When it's just you, you plan what you're going to cook. So, if I'm going to roast a chicken, I'm going to have this for dinner. Yeah. Then what am I going to do with chicken for lunch? Am I going to make soup? Like, what am I going to do? Do you see what I mean?
No, that's true.
But also, I don't know if, like, taking meat out the freezer...
Wait, hold on. My wife is talking. What are you saying?
Oh!
That was
a sweet one.
I don't know if white people take meat out the freezer. I've never heard any of my like English friends talking about I've been asked to take meat out of the freezer. I don't know if it's a black thing, an immigrant thing. But growing up, all my friends had deep chest. In fact, I'm sure there was like a time when deep chest freezers came in and everyone was like, oh yeah, we've got one. I
didn't have a deep chest freezer.
Did you not?
No, but I think that's because they started to change. But we've got a big fridge that opens like 2 doors.
Yeah.
But we don't have it, and maybe it's just because they turned vegetarian and we don't have to freeze that much. Okay. I
guess. I've never had a conversation with a white person that deep to find out what they did with their children when they were children. So
that says more about you than them, Lyndon.
It says more about me that I didn't speak to white people than them being white people.
Yeah.
Because I'm the racist, not them.
No, because you live... Oh, Lyndon.
Yes. You're right, okay?
In it, like I say every day, Lyndon, you're too smart for that. But no, I'm serious. I think like taking meat out the freezer and do that sort of stuff. Another thing is soaking the peas overnight. Did you ever have to do that? Mm-hmm. So like we do that for rice and peas. So you have to soak the peas overnight.
Yeah.
If you don't soak the peas overnight, you're not having rice and peas the next day. You're having rice.
This is the same, I think you use use the same beans. I think there's a pinto beans.
Pinto or kidney beans.
And so you have to soak them and then then you boil them and then you eat them.
But I don't like rice and I don't really like rice and peas. If I eat rice and peas, it's really delicious.
We've got to cut that out.
No, we will not be cutting that out. I don't like it.
Why?
Do you know there's some people who don't like plantain? Now that's a sin.
I never liked plantain for the longest time. For the longest time.
How did you learn to like it?
Have you tried it?
Yeah, several times.
Don't be rude.
Then
what?
Don't be rude.
Have you tried it?
No, but you know why? Because Steph's dad, we went to Jamaica. Steph's dad didn't like plantain.
Right.
And we had plantain by accident.
No. Lies.
And then he ate it. He's like, oh, that was nice. What was that? Plantain!
Oh, no, do you know what? Lies. I never actually tasted plantain.
What?
I had plantain. And
it's the same thing. No, let's not do this. It's the same thing.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
Yeah, I had plantain. I didn't really like it initially, and then I started to like it much later on because it was so sweet. I didn't really like it.
Do you guys eat boiled plantain?
We eat boiled, we eat fried.
Oh, do you?
Put them in the oven.
I don't like boiled plantain. My mum is obsessed with it. And I was like, Mum, please, I beg you, just fry it or do something else. My actual preferred plantain is when you fry it, you smash it, and then you fry it again.
That's really Dominican.
Oh, is it? Really?
That's really Dominican. I think that's Dominican.
That's actually my favourite, but I'll take...
Platanos.
Yeah.
Smash it.
They smash, so they fry it like for a little bit, then they smash it.
So it gets wider.
So it becomes wider.
Not like
and then they fry it again.
And they have it with
salt. It's like squashed together down there. And they
really
fry it
flattened.
And do you know what's so funny? I'll do
delicious.
anything else, but frying plantain gives me anxiety.
Why?
Because I just feel like I never know, like it's either too brown or it's just not.
People are very funny about it.
Yeah, I'd rather give that job to somebody else. That's the one that gives me anxiety.
I've had plantain in all kinds of shapes and sizes
good.
and consistencies, textures. It's always great. Doesn't matter.
I agree.
I guess so. But yeah.
But when you were younger, if you went to someone's house to eat, so on the occasions that you went out to eat, we only ever went to family house to eat. Like I didn't go to friends' houses to eat with my family, hardly ever. And that's another thing, family friends. Yeah, of course, but that's basically family.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like, people say I'm going to a dinner party. Friends, we didn't do that growing up. There weren't any dinner parties. And it's not because I think...
It kind of was.
I mean...
If you went to another family's house on a Sabbath...
Is that a dinner party?
It's the same situation.
Oh, then in that case,
similar.
We had dinner parties every Sabbath.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't know that was a thing, right? But like, did you? So I don't know if this is a particularly Jamaican thing or just like my parents, because I was talking to somebody and they were saying that's not just a Jamaican thing, and I said, yeah, but how would I know? Growing up, the majority of my friends and my parents' friends were Jamaican. There were a few Trinis that snuck in there. Lol.
Not snuck. My Trini people. Also, can I just take this segment to say, Lyndon tried to make this chapati roti thing a random verse Trini thing last week. It really isn't. It was just saying that my chapatis are the best flatbread. That's all.
Okay, so do you know
this
is the first time I want to give Angela props and she's complaining today.
No.
I just want everyone to remember
but you know what? Do you know
it's
what
the last time.
No, that's all right. Do you know what it is? It's because he wanted to distance himself from the thing that he was saying was not the best. He didn't want it to be attached to Jamaica or any Jamaicans. He wanted to make it... He wanted to make it entirely
Jamaicans don't make roti.
Well, I never heard you say it was Trini roti when you said it was the best until you said it was not the best. Okay. And then you said it was Trini roti.
It's a known fact that Jamaicans...
Don't have it Trinis.
It's... Okay, don't try and do this with Trinis versus
let me just let you know.
Tell my story,
wow.
To be honest.
Wow.
What'd you say?
I love them.
Wow. Listen.
I just want to let you know.
Maybe people should say you look Jamaican. Maybe people should say you look Trini and you're
Love
happy.
it.
Maybe you're happy then.
Love it.
Listen, right?
Love it.
Listen, don't let her split us up. We're all Caribbeans. What I'm saying is Jamaicans don't make roti. I went to Jamaica. I have a little bit of roti. We don't do it. We don't have it.
We make bami. We make dumpling. We make fried dumpling, boiled dumpling.
We don't make roti. We don't make bus up shop. We don't make none of that. It's great stuff, but we don't make it.
So not every Jamaican makes festivals, by the way.
No, really?
No, not every Jamaican. Every Jamaican can make dumpling of some sort, but not every Jamaican can make festivals.
That's not a lesson for me to say. But going back to what you're saying, so I didn't know if it was only you're saying that it was only your family.
When we went out for our dinner parties on Sabbath or like to my auntie's house on a Sunday.
Don't worry.
Everybody stay focused. We're on the train. We're moving ahead. So like we'd go and there'd be certain things that like, they'd be like, oh, do you want to have some of this? Now you can't be looking too craving. So you'd be like, oh no, it's okay. Thank you. So then you have to look at your mum and then your mum will be like, no, No, thank you. Are you sure? Yes. Would you like a drink? No, thank you. And it's like this inbuilt thing. And actually, I've had to break away from it. That when I go to people's houses now, if someone asks me something, would you like something? It's okay for me to say yes. Even to this day, Christian, my little brother, if he goes somewhere, even if he came here and says like, "I want something to eat," no, I'm okay, thank you. And he won't look at me, but he'll say no probably a few times, and then he'll be like, "Oh, okay, yes, thank you."
Let me tell you something.
This is the way my mum made me feel.
Yeah.
You can't. And the way my mum was so serious with it.
Oh, yeah.
She'd look at us like, don't do it.
My parents was, my mum and my dad would pull up to the house, switch off the engine in the car, and we'd say, so let me just let everybody know in the car.
Serious?
Yeah.
Everybody
so
relax.
Before we get out of this car, you're not eating anything. You're not drinking anything. You've eaten, you've drank, like we feed you.
Don't go to the toilet.
There's not. Oh my gosh, I used to tell Anne all the time because Anne at one point had this fixation of going to the toilet every place that we went. Anna, you're not going to the toilet everywhere. You're not going to the toilet. Everybody, you just said that we're there for 50 minutes. We're getting out. We're there for an hour going home, yeah? And I'd get in, and even sometimes the people were like, "Would you want something to eat?" And my mum would look at me like, and I would have to
your
say...
Your parents look at you like as if it's your
Sometimes
own
I'll be
choice.
like, it's
and it's
okay.
not your own choice.
The deception.
I say no.
It's a game.
Yeah.
They ask you, you look at your parents, and your parents say, what would you like? No,
Yeah,
you've
no.
already told me I can't have anything.
Yeah.
So
I
then
say
you have to
no.
look at them and be like, am I allowed to have something? Am I not allowed to have... No, you're not allowed.
But you know what's so funny? So there's that tango, especially I found when growing up in African households. Do you want something? No. Even when you're allowed to have something.
Yeah.
Do you want something? No. Have some? No. However, until you say yes.
Yeah.
You can't say yes straight off the bat.
No.
Like, yes, yeah. But there's some houses that I've been to, or some families I've been to, where I've said, do you want something to eat? And I say no. And I'm expecting a little bit more of a tango. And that's it. I'm there for the next 5 hours and I don't drink or eat. And I'm there I'm really shocked.
But you know what
And
you
so-
told me? You told me that, you know what, actually, we don't ask, we just bring it for you.
Yeah.
And I think
That's
that's
what
the
my mum
better
says.
way.
So my mum used to cuss us out. She
you.
said, so she'll come back, even if it was school friends. Like, you know, like you bring your Caucasian friend from school home, and you said, do you want anything? No. And when they say no, they actually mean no.
Because if they
do
make
you want a
yes,
hot
they'd
chocolate?
say
Do you
yeah.
want this? And no. And then my mum will come in and she said, you haven't even given them water. We have ice cream in the fridge. You haven't given them. I said, I asked them and they didn't want anything. You don't ask, you bring.
Yep.
And that's my mum's thing. My mum is such a feed. I've never found anyone that's a feed like my mum. You will be sitting down and my mum will bring, and it's funny enough, the people in the household don't even know those things exist in the house at that point. And she's bringing out different types of nuts. She's bringing out mandazi, which is like the opposite.
Mandazi.
Our version of like festival, or sweet fried dumpling. She's bringing out all these things. So like, we lived here. Yesterday we wanted a snack. We didn't know there was any snacks in the house.
Yeah, because it's not for you. It's for the friends. And do you know what?
She said, let me bring you something. And I don't want to think, no, what I'm going to make you're going to like. That's my mum.
But you
Hold on. Isn't this the same? Because my mum does the same thing, right? To new people in the house. But these are the same people that told you can't go to someone's house and ask for something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you bring someone to their house and you're forcing something on them.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, it's a trap.
And my mum will guilt trip me. My mum will be
not
like,
about-
so you don't even want to even taste a little? You can't. Okay, just have this.
Do you know what happened last week? My mum, I told you that I had a little birthday lunch on the Sabbath. So my mum is making jerk chicken. Yeah, she made it on the Friday. In our house growing up, what she's cooked for Sabbath, you can't eat on a Friday. She will cook 2 things and be like, no, that's for Sabbath.
Yeah.
So Friday evening now, I come back from birthday dinner, blah, blah. She's there chopping up the chicken to put it in the fridge. She's there giving some to Malimo, some to Sheree. I said, what is going on? I couldn't understand it. She's like, oh, Fabrice, do you want some? Like, this happens on an everyday basis. I said, no, actually, I figured it out. This isn't about me.
No.
It's about you.
Yeah,
You want
obviously.
to look like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, please, have some. Have as much as you would like.
I love your mum though. Your mum is amazing.
I couldn't believe it.
Like, my mum even will make a stack of chapatis for Sabbath, and you can't touch. Maybe you have your one chapati for that Friday evening when you come back from church. But anyone take an extra half or anything like that, you're in trouble. Let someone come. I'm like, take 2, take 3. Did you want some, Angela? And you have to say no, because once a person leaves, you know that you have had your quota for today. Why are you taking? You think it's just somebody?
The deception is wild, but do you know what? To be honest, when I have my kids, I'm going to enter into the game.
Absolutely.
Why not? I've got kids.
Wait, why?
Hello.
Where's
having
children is
stressful.
It's called
I need to have
PR. Also
Where's
known
the logic?
Public relation.
Where's the logic of in the game? Please explain it to me.
You know what?
Because your kids are your kids, they have to love you, and you've done enough with them to show that you
And
love
I'm gonna
them.
feed them.
For other people, you've got to present like, you know, I am super nice.
Yeah.
It's like going to churches on their main day, on their special days. Music day. When you go to church on their music day, you think that's how it is every day, every Sabbath? It's not like that.
It's not.
That is the best of the best coming together to give you a show. If you go there on a regular
show.
10th Sabbath of the year, they're not doing that. They've got Sister So-and-so singing with a backing track for the special item, and she's probably singing different words to the song.
And she's introduced it by saying, "Church, pray for me because my voice isn't really there this week." Read it as a poem. Why do we have to sing?
I think this should be a note. Do you want the PowerPoint slide behind you saying that you are not prepared and your voice? We can put it out for you behind. I can't even laugh because I've also said, guys, really and truly. I haven't said listen to the words, not the voice, because I think that's nonsense. Because I could have done it in like a mime or something.
Every time I hear that, I'm like, oh, here we go.
I roll my eyes, but you know what?
Can you tell what you're saying? Sorry, I cut you.
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay.
No, you didn't. We were in the flow.
I don't. Whenever I hear someone saying, listen to the words, listen to the words, not the voice, I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. How do I not laugh at this whole...
No, you don't laugh in the house of the God.
We try not to. We try not to.
Anyway,
can I tell you what the best thing? Nah,
you telling me you never sat there and wanted to laugh?
No, I stopped
till you
praying.
cried.
I know I stopped praying.
I close my eyes. I don't do that in
Because
God's
you
house.
can't pray when you're you can't laugh when you're praying.
Let me tell you, back to my story.
Just don't look at anyone.
No.
If you look at anyone, you're finished.
my
If you look at your friends, you're
Do you
finished.
remember?
No.
What day was it?
Yeah. I've seen you do that. I've seen you do that.
What day was it?
Stop.
What day was it? And the three were sitting on the
was she meant to say?
side, and I was looking at the stage, and I said, "No, I can't." And I looked at Angela, and I thought I was going to fall on the floor laughing. It was so funny.
Stop.
And then Angela looks at Lyndon across the church. Everybody needs to leave because it's not okay.
I know I don't do them things there. I'm actually looking at people just to make sure that they were paying attention. To be honest, I don't. Honestly.
Anyway, whatever. I'm going to be like my mum. I'm going to be like Auntie Grace. I'm going to be like, I don't know what your mum's first name is.
Adelaide.
Oh, of course it is.
Adelaide. Sometimes I ask, is it Adelaide or Adelaide?
I want to be like Auntie Adelaide.
That's why she got 3 A's with the girls.
Yeah, and it's so
I'm
confusing because
that.
when we send my dad money or when he's trying to send us something on a bank account, it's always Miss A Ritaganera, Miss A Ritaganera. And even on letters, it's all Miss A Ritaganera.
I'm trying to think about 3 F's that I can call my children, but I don't think I've got them. 3 names beginning with
some.
We can find some.
Yeah.
Having children is stressful enough. I have to look after them. I have to feed them, and then if they're girls, I've got to do their hair. The hell, I will play games with them and tell them they can't eat people's houses, but secretly when they get there, I'll say, well, not secretly, I'll be like, what would you like to have? You don't want to have anything? Oh, it's okay. No, she's not hungry.
But then
I will do that every day.
Did your parents ever say, there was times like we were going for a dinner or something, my mum and dad would say, my mum would definitely say, listen, we're coming here for dinner. When we go back home, I'm not cooking for anybody. So if you're hungry, you eat.
Why do parents announce that, by the way?
So when we get into the thing, so if you don't, and also my mum would see us like playing around, like say if we've gone somewhere to have dinner, and she'd say, you guys are playing around this food here. I'm not cooking for you when you get home. So you don't want to eat, you will eat tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or there's times when she'll forget to say that to us, or like say like we've gone like to someone that we really know, gone to the house and we get into the car and I'd be like, oh, I'm really hungry. What? No, you eat tomorrow.
I can't imagine being somewhere where there's food and being not eating because I wouldn't do that.
I mean, like talking with my friends.
Yeah,
no. Our friends will be eating together.
At family functions, there's always food, number one. That's another thing. It's like, this is very yardy. So like, this is very, when you're Jamaican, not even Jamaican, I think this is a yardy thing, to have like your child and to have your child's first birthday and christening like on the same day. And it's also really common to have like a flyer designed and then you have like yourself in the middle, usually wearing all white or all yellow or all red. And then you've got like things in the background.
Not things.
Do you not know people who are yardies? This happens all the time in Bristol. I've been to plenty of first birthdays and christenings many a time.
Never. It's always like 6 to 8 months that they have been there.
Is this in church though?
Christenings in church.
No, so we get
blessing. You're talking about.
I'm not talking about dedications or blessings in intervention. I'm talking about Sunday church people who don't go to church just want to have like their child christened. So they have the child christened in the morning, and then it's like a proper party in the evening. And that's another thing. Like with my friends, I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to a christening." Blah blah. They're like, "Oh okay, will you be done by?" Will I be done by? I don't think I understand what's going on here. I'm going to a christening, then I'm going to eat, and I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to party in the same function. And they don't really get it. But when you're talking about you can't imagine being at a function with your friends or with your family and not eating. When I was little, we went to like christenings or like parties or whatever. There was always loads of food because that's the staple. At a first child's birthday party, there's like rice, 2 kinds of rice, fried dumpling, like macaroni cheese, oxtail carrot, like whatever. That's the standard. But also because there's so many people and you're seeing your cousins who maybe you haven't seen for like 3 months, actually eating food is you'll have one chicken drumstick,
and then you'll
have one dumpling, and then you'll be chatting to your friends, and then it's time to go. You cry, maybe get 50 more minutes, and then you get in the car and like, right, I'm not cooking. And my mum always wants to give a big speech. Just don't give me the speech. It upsets me. I don't want to hear. And I'm not cooking tomorrow as well. And I've cooked all week. Just please, you're upsetting me. But that used to happen to me all the time.
Nah, if I'm with my friends are dudes, we're going to make sure we eat together.
Maybe that was...
If it's time to eat, it's like, oh, let's eat together and continue the jokes while we eat.
Even when you were like 6 and 7?
We eat together. We go get the food and we continue having fun.
I should have been like nonsense. You. Yeah, I was just doing nonsense.
Because we'd be hungry.
I learned very quickly, okay, I need to make... But even also, when there's a lot going on...
It's too much. I'm too excited.
What's
even like Sabbath lunches and stuff like that. Like, I'll
food
be
is part
hungry.
of the excitement.
But even at church, I'll be so hungry. I won't have had my breakfast and everything. And then we'll be talking and I'll eat half my plate and I'll just be looking and chatting and stuff and you get distracted.
That's me every Sabbath. But I've learnt the lesson because Lyndon told me his trick. You sit next to the food that you really want to eat. So you just eat the 25 chapatis like this. Let me tell you, when I watched the thing back and I said, oh, are there any chapatis left? And he said, no. I said, what? There's no chapatis. Honestly, that upset me.
No, but it's just so funny. When you said you crying and you get 15 minutes late or more, can I tell you, growing up, like, and I don't know if we've spoken about this before, being at my auntie's house, with all the cousins, like I said previously, like my dad, this is how I know I'm spoiled genetically. Like, I don't know, they try to take it out of me, but to be honest, I think it's ingrained in my DNA. My dad used to say to me, okay, right, I'm dropping you off at Aunt Teresa's house. How long do you want to be there for?
What?
Yeah? Do you want to be there for the whole evening? Yeah, because, I really want to sleep, everybody else is sleeping over. Okay, cool. We'll sleep over one day. I'm dropping off, it's Saturday. I'll pick you up on Sunday at 6 o'clock. Okay? And my dad doesn't play with time. He'll probably get there at 6:15 and sit, 6:45 and sit in the car park waiting for 6, yeah? So I'll be like, okay, cool. Then he'll come and pick me up and he'll call my aunt to tell her that, listen, I'm coming to pick Angela and Cynthia and Anne up. Make sure they need to make sure they have their shoes and stuff. From that point, I feel like the frog in my throat, yeah? Like I'm gonna cry.
It's such a brat.
Enjoyment is being had and I'm going home. I'll be like, I'll say to my mom, don't worry, I'll do it when he gets here. So he gets to the house. I told you about 20 minutes ago to put on your shoes while your shoes not on. But even the fact that he knocked on the door and they're opening the door, the tears are already here. They're about to come down.
How old are you?
Up to a big age, don't worry. And I'll be so sad. I'll be so sad. And my dad would be like, why are you crying? Look at your sisters. Your sister's not crying. Why are you crying? And I'll be like... And I'll be really trying to fight the tears, but I can't. We're in the car and I'm crying all the way home. And he'll be like, this is why I'm never going to let you. I'm never going to drop you. Never again. This was the last time, okay? This was the last time you're going. I'm never going to drop you there again. Then comes obviously the next holiday and I'm like, I really want to go. My dad's like, listen, you can go if you don't cry. Let me tell you, we played that game for years. Like my dad would come back and I'll be so sad. And my aunt would be like, please just don't cry because that means I'm never going to bring you back. But I was trying. I'll be so...
Your dad has got the patience.
Your dad pulled up and he's like...
Yeah.
Angela's gonna cry.
Yeah. Can you see your sisters? They're not crying. Can you see them? And I'll be like, literally even other parties, like say like they drop me off at like someone else's house and we're having like there's lots of youth there and then he comes to pick me up. I feel so down. Like, oh my gosh, the party's done.
To be honest, I do understand the feeling. I understand the feeling. Yeah, I understand the feeling your parents coming
like moving at night.
Killing the buzz.
Yeah. He would be like, I was like, what time do you come? Can you come at 11? 11? 11? Like I haven't got anything to do. We should be sleeping. I'll come at 6. And I'm like, oh.
You might as well ask for another day. I used to ask, can I stay for another day? I'm like, please, can I stay another day? Can I stay another day? Because if it's any time, my dad would never, first of all, he wouldn't ask me what time do you want to be picked up? Are you all right? There was never those kind of conversations. I'm coming when it's convenient for me. But then I'll call mum and be like, Mum, please can you tell dad to come the next day because I really want to. I just think she said yeah because she probably wanted another day off from me. She'd be like, yeah, cool.
My mum would say yeah.
No problem.
My dad would be like, I can't come pick you up tomorrow, so you're coming home today.
See, that's why I asked how old you were. I think I've told this story already, but when I was 2, 3, I was notorious in my church for crying before I was time to go home. As soon as it's time to go home, I'm bawling all the way to the car. Every time because I'm enjoying my time with my friends. And for some reason, my friends were allowed to stay at church later than I was.
You see? I feel it, actually. No, I get it.
Boy.
2 to 3 year old just wants to stay at church.
I'll take it. I don't care.
That's spoiled.
My heart is soft.
Do you really want to have this conversation?
I don't want to have the conversation.
All right.
Because honestly, I can see already.
That was the time. But yeah, even when I grew up, my dad used to do out of principle. Sometimes he wouldn't even need to pick me up that day, but because he promised that he would come to make sure that I start to learn that when it's time to go, despite your feelings.
Do you think you've learned that lesson? I haven't.
No, I go home because I'm tired and I want to sleep. The one time he said, Angela, you can't just wear your heart on your sleeve. Just because you want to say somewhere doesn't mean everybody needs to know. I was like, wow, okay.
Do you know why I'm laughing so much? Because I'm really thinking about these stories, yeah, and I'm thinking our parents really tried hard. They put their heart and soul. We're all the eldest, so we all got a lot. They put their heart and soul into making us really sensible, good character individuals. When I asked you, does it like, your dad arrived on time? My dad used to ask this many times, drive off. He'd be like, I'm in, don't come to the door at 6 o'clock. Don't have everything ready because I'm driving away at 6 o'clock. I am still late to this day. Friend, you've lost the war with timeless.
Only the strong will win.
You've lost the war.
And my lateness is stronger than his on timeness. He's actually had to adjust. He's actually had to adjust his expectations of things because if not, it'll give him high blood pressure.
But they try so hard. I just feel so sorry for our parents because imagine you're here with your child, you bring your child to church and your child's bawling, they don't want to go home. The hell you will get in the car. I don't care if you're crying. And you take your child to the auntie's house.
I just get picked up and taken to I was a little baby.
I mean, this is what happened.
How do you remember when you were told? Did they tell you?
No, I'm told the story of me crying because when it was 1 and 2 is when I was crying.
Yeah.
So I was told the story. Every single time I went to church, somebody reminded you. Remember when you used to cry? No, but you told me this every week, so I know it used to happen. I know.
That's okay. Crying is a natural thing.